and a very pleasant morning to everyone present today. Hello, I'm Nina. I'll be the moderator for today. Yang berusaha, Associate Professor Dr. Tunku Salha Tunku Ahmad, Director for Center for International Engagement, Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Yang berusaha, Associate Professor Dr. Maria Anita Sari, Director of ITS Global Engagement, Senior Officers of UniMAP and ITS, Member of Committee for today's meeting, staff, students from UniMAP and ITS. On behalf of the International Engagement CIE UniMAP, I proudly welcome all of you to the 6th meeting of Teen Ideas Virtual Mobility Program, Designing and Executing Post-COVID-19 Adaptation Ideas within Varsity Campus, which jointly organized by the ITS Global Engagement, Institute of Technology 10 November Surabaya, and the Center for International Engagement, Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Thank you for joining this session. We appreciate you taking your time to join, and we hope that what we have lined up for you will be fruitful and engaging. Hi everyone again. Okay, before we proceed with the group presentation, please allow me to brief the housekeeping before we get started. There will be 3 groups that will be presenting today. Student group presentation, group 10. Hello, group 10.
Hello.
Student presentation from group 11. Hi, group 11. And student group presentation, group 12.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Each group will be given 25 minutes to present and discuss on the topics. There will be a 5-minute break before the Q&A session, and there will be a 60-minute Q&A session right after all the presentation by all 6 reviewers. Each reviewer will be given 10 minutes for the Q&A session, and there will be a 10-minute Q&A session by the audience. So if you have any questions, please leave your questions in the chat box, okay? Your question will be displayed during the Q&A session, and our presenters will answer your questions. There will also be an overall comment by the reviewer representative from each university. Each rep will be given 5 minutes to comment. And right after that, a closing remark by Associate Professor Dr. Tunku Salha Tunku Ahmad. Please be reminded that online attendance link will be provided at the end of the meeting, and an e-certificate will be provided to the attendees who fill out the attendance form. Okay, please allow me to introduce the evaluation panels from UniMAP. We have Dr. Aimi Saliha Abdul Nasir, Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Electrical Engineering Technology.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone.
We have Mr. Muhammad Rosli Abdul Ghani, Lecturer, Faculty of Applied and Human Sciences.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
We have Dr. Muhammad Sufyan Rosbi, Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Applied and Human Sciences. Hi, you here? Can you hear me?
Hi. Good morning to all.
Okay, from ITS, we have Ms. Nurina Orta Darmawati, Lecturer at Visual Communication Designing Department. Hi, Ms. Nurina.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We have Dr. Chandra Irawan, Lecturer from Civil Engineering Department. Dr. Chandra. And last but not least, we have Mr. Mavindra Ramdani, Lecturer at Material Engineering Department. Okay. Without further ado, let us welcome Group 10 to start their presentation on the topic Designing and Executing Post-COVID-19 Adaptation Ideas within the Varsity Campus. Let me introduce Group 10. We have Anggun Nur Fitriani Handoko, Wulan Rahayu, Faris Virgiansyah, Santashini Sundar, Siti Nur Halimah binti Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Vinotha Virankan. Okay, Group 10, the floor is yours.
Alright, so thank you very much for the opportunity that given to us. Assalamualaikum, good morning everyone. So welcome, we are from Group 10 and we will present our ideas of designing and exhibiting post-COVID-19 adaptation ideas beyond Varsity Campus. But before we start our presentation, let us introduce ourselves. So these are our team members from UniMAP and from ITS. And the next one is the introduction about us.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Halima. I'm doing chemical engineering in UniMAP. Wear a mask and stay safe. Hi, I'm Amuna Fitrani Handoko from Statistics Department ITS. Don't forget using a mask and stay safe.
Hi, my name is Nanda Ayu from Statistics Department on ITS. Please wear a mask and stay safe.
Hi everyone, my name is Faris Firgansyah. I'm from Chemical Engineering ITS. Please stay safe and wear a mask. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Vinata Viratan. I'm from Faculty of Applied Science and Humanities from UniMAP. Don't forget to wear a mask and stay safe.
Hi everyone, my name is Santashini Sunda and I'm from Faculty of Applied Science and Humanities from UniMAP. So always wear your mask and stay safe.
Alright, so that was a brief introduction video about us, and this is our presentation outline for today about what we are going to present to talk about for the next 25 minutes. So let's move on to the introduction. So what happened in this world? The COVID-19 outbreak has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization, causing huge impact on people's lives, families, and communities. The global economy has also taken a big hit, a fall in stock markets all around the world, and volatility in exchange rates and commodity price, causing monetary authorities to adjust their predictions for economic growth in 2020, and governments to look at a stimulus. As the international response continues to develop, we know that organizations are facing potentially significant challenges to which they need to respond rapidly. Organizations are required to operate at a minimum operation level, execute with agility, and prioritize investment while staying focused on protecting their people from the COVID-19 virus. So, next slide. And what the government did for this chaos. So Indonesia has rolled out a fiscal stimulus worth of trillions of rupiah and widened its state budget deficit beyond the 3% legal limit to afford a fight against the COVID-19 outbreak, and it is around 436.1 trillion rupiah. And for the Malaysia government, also introduced 3 separate economic stimulus packages between 27 February and 6 April. So it is allocated around 260 billion to combat the economic impact of this COVID-19 pandemic. And the next slide will be presented further by Venuti.
Thank you so much, Faris. And now I'm going to present about impact of COVID-19 onto the stakeholders. Next slide, please. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the first point. Hike in the sudden unemployment lead to the higher crime rates and mental health issues. Mental health issues is pretending to domestic violence, depression, anxiety due to inability to provide for the survival of employee and employees' families. Besides, being increased in crime rates, especially in market sector that hike up prices of PPE for their own profit, and some companies making production of many fake and unsafe PPE. For the second point, employment of newly graduated students at hazard. As we know, all companies are restructuring workers to cut costs and losses, and this poses a threat to the new graduation students who are considered lacking in the experienced field, as they are only supported by their education background, only enhanced, putting them in a long line of waiting for their employment field. Correct? Globalization to localization. All suppliers are being obligated locally instead of internationally to reduce the risk of carrying and spreading of the COVID-19 virus. This enhance reduce the globalization to an increase nationalization. And at the same time, this economic is basically intent as outsider is considered dangerous and poses a potential health threat. Last but not least, environmental benefit. Reduction in emission of air pollution as people are banned from traveling, especially through air. And this reduces expansion of chemical into the environmental, hence proving a cleaner and safer environment, which was estimated to be achieved in years, but accomplished while every employee and employees being quarantined and work at home within a few months. And that's from me. I would like to give to the next presenter.
Thank you, Vinota. Now I'll talk about the adaptation that were made by the stakeholders to survive and thrive. So starting with my first point, most of the companies were forced to create a flexible work environment after this COVID-19 got started. So flexible work environment for most of us is working from home. Although there are many challenges while working from home, the most important thing is that we get to resume the company's productivity. And flexible work environment has taught us that as long as there's a connection and interaction within the team members, we will be able to finish the task. And according to the survey that we carried out, 70% of our respondents prefer to telecommute rather than work from office. Next slide. So besides that, COVID-19 pandemic has made everyone to re-evaluate the company's emergency fund. So emergency fund is basically the fund that we have when we are running out of money. So households that experience lesser income were 3 times more likely to live in economic hardship than others. As the COVID-19 issue was addressed, the companies that had emergency fund were able to resume their operation without any problem. And even for those, even after COVID-19, for companies that have emergency fund, they can invest that in other business opportunities because as we can see, we are now heading towards accelerating digital transformation. And this kind of emergency fund can be used in small projects or even to settle unexpected debts. We can review the company's growth by re-evaluating the emergency fund time to time. Next slide. So moreover, this pandemic has also taught us the importance of online business. Online business enlarged the business path. To have an online business, first we have to master SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, and then we have to have a professional company website. Next, we need to develop social media marketing skills. Social media and online business are interconnected because that's how we can make our business reach people. Staying up to date with latest technology, sending out periodic emails to customers with an incentive to visit the site, improvising the product are what are the additional steps to improvise online business. Next slide. This pandemic has made the employers to add alternative products to their business. When we add alternative products, we are more likely to increase the profit or remain at the same scale. Even famous companies like Cadbury, FNN, and even shoe companies like Bata, they all started from nothing. But time to time, they added new products to their company, and now they are one of the successful companies in the world. Next slide. So my final point is on introducing creative, innovative ways to promote. So for your information, in Malaysia, we have shops that where all the items are sold at 2 Malaysian ringgit. So although it appears very cheap, it is impossible impossible for many of them to get out of the shop with just an item. So these are some of the marketing techniques that shops use to attract customers. Just like that, after this COVID-19 pandemic, we can see shops promoting buy a pair, give a pair tagline. So this tagline means that for every purchase of each pair of shoes, another pair will be donated to people in need. Besides that, a fashion page like Good Krama have put up zero waste masks, which means they are reusable masks on their official page. And they even mentioned that 30% from the sale will be donated to World Health Organization. So these are few ways of how stakeholders are trying to adapt after COVID-19. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Siti. Now I will present about our team novel ideas. For the novel ideas, first of all, I want to talk about the pandemic crisis that are most likely to happen and the most threatening of all, which is the global financial crisis. Okay, now let's look back at what happened in previous global financial crisis in 2008. A study by Cambridge student in 2012 revealed that East Asian countries like India, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, and so on handled this financial crisis well because they were better prepared. Most of those countries strengthened and improved micro, small, and medium enterprises within the country, meaning that they consume what they produce without depending on other countries. So, we can conclude that small businesses is essential to survive the incoming global economic crisis, and that's what we're focusing in our novel ideas. So, our novel idea will be focusing on how to improve and adjust the small businesses that our country have, such as facilitate small business to thrive more, operation restructuring, and easy commerce and marketing. The most fit and effective way to do that is by doing some digital transformation. Now, our team idea is that we invent some e-commerce app that specifically support small businesses. Now, what is our app does and what is the advantage of it? First, it can make your business known nationwide. Second, raise funds to help small businesses. Third, align you with other related business and also adapt with real-time demand. Next, who's the user of this app? The user of this app are the investor and the business owner. The investor can browse and choose the business to fund based on the presentation page that the app offer, while business owner must make and show their business plan, target profit, market strategy in their presentation page to attract some investors. So how does this app works? So first, when the investor invests some money on the businesses based on business plan, target profit, and market strategy, then the business owner proceed and run their businesses as per usual. And they must make the monthly report that will automatically send to the investor. If the profit has been made from the initial capital from investor, some of the profit will go to the business owner and some to the investor. Also, the benefit of being investor is that they can get what is called a capital gain, which is when the sale price or the invest money is higher than the initial purchase price. So when the investor decides to sell his asset on the business owner, the investor can get double or maybe triple from what he invests in the first place. For example, let's say that some investor, let's say investor A, decide to invest $10,000 to some business owner. And let's say there are 3 people invest in these businesses, and the total money the business owner get is $40,000. Meaning investor A own a quarter of business asset, and if things are going well with these businesses and perhaps 5 years later the business's net worth become $200,000, then his sale price, if he want to sell his asset, is quarter of $200,000, which is $50,000, and he gets $40,000 profit from the initial capital. Okay, last is the general benefit of e-commerce app in general that specifically support small businesses is that real-time usability and discovery, establishment of mutual trust, and allow business to show path from raw goods to a consumer. Thank you. Next to the major concern.
Okay, group 10, you have about 9 more minutes to go on. Okay, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Wulan. So today I'm going to speak about the major concern due to the pandemic COVID-19 that lead to a deficit rate. Next slide. So, the major concern of the novel idea is, the main thing is to sustain the business and make more money. This is because such as the shopkeeper or entrepreneur in the sports or entertainment or manufacturing industries are facing more difficulties during this global crisis. So, the next point is finding a right platform and knowledge about the internet tools and features. This is because of most of the small-scale business entrepreneurs are having a lack of knowledge regarding finding a right platform to do their online business when it's come to the digital era. And next slide. So, there are few ways to overcome it. First is prepare a proper communication plan between the vendor, employees, and customer, that we must craft a clear and concise message and schedule and the regular updates to the customers as well as in our digital application. And also, next slide. And also, the second point in that is innovation in product. As for an example, a lingerie manufacturer Carrie Holdings Berhad produced a reusable fabric face mask cotton which allows to breathe conveniently and selling in the e-commerce app, and now are getting more revenue than as usual. So I would like to end the major concern slide with, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. So this is the last part, conclusion and recommendation. The first, COVID-19 pandemic affect all sectors and stakeholders beyond the university. The second point, several actions need to adapt with the new conditions such as evaluate emergency fund, expand business in online, and add diversity product, and also promote in a creative way. The novel idea that our team brings is to support business, small business is e-commerce app, which help the business owner to promote their plan and get financial support from investor. To dealing with the major concern towards this e-commerce app is that a digital platform, communication plan, and also innovation in product.
So before we end our presentation, we would like to acknowledge and show our appreciation to the committee from ITS Global Engagement and UniMAP, especially for Mr. Wahyu, Ms. Desi, Mr. Arthur, and volunteers from ITS Global Engagement for giving us the opportunity to participate in this program. Also, we would like to express our special thanks to the reviewer, all the respondents who have helped us with our online survey, and all the audience and reviewer for your attention during the presentation. And last but not least, thank you everyone.
Gamsahamnida.
Matur suwun.
Apkunha. Gracias.
Terima kasih.
Thank you everyone.
Okay, good presentation. Big round of applause for group 10. Arigato gozaimasu. Okay, moving on, I would like to introduce the participant for group 11. Group 11, we have Sarah Savira Mustika Firdausi, Muhammad Adi Utama. We have Rizka Amelia Dewi Safira, Muhammad Farisan Zamzuri, Nurin Diana Zakaria, Siti Nur Aisyah Zulkifli. Okay, you have 25 minutes. Now over to you, group 11.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to lecturer from ITS and UniMAP, also all the panelists and moderator of today's meeting, and my fellow participants and audiences. We are Group 11 and will be presenting our ideas regarding the topic today. First of all, let us introduce ourselves using Pantun and Japanese and Melayu, starting with me. Duduk Andika bersama Putri berteman saja membaiki sampan. Rizka Amelia nama diberi, Assalamualaikum pembuka ucapan. Next, Adi, it's your turn.
Bunga dedaup di atas paru, anak dusun pasang balita, dari seberang saya kemari, nama Adi, ucapan dimulai. Okay, next to Nuri.
Angan bubur tambah kecap asin, set luar tambah mangan ketan. Hello dulur, kenal no aku Nurin, mahasiswa paling kecek sak Kelantan. Barisan your turn.
Oleh makan aku nak tunjungan, mapai pemat tuku buah. Halo kabeh jenangku Farisan, arep paling sak sangat Kedah. For the last team member, Aisyah.
Thank you, Farisan. ITS Wantenatan Surabaya. Paginanes sedherek ingkang Assalamualaikum dulur sedoyo. Tepangaken nami kula.
Okay, thank you guys. Now we're moving to the background. Well, as all we know, the coronavirus has changed so many life aspects. For instance, we should follow the health protocol like wearing masks and practice physical distancing. This pandemic also forces a lot of office, schools, and universities to move their activities into online. Also, several stores and many other businesses have experienced difficulty in their cash flow and income decrease. And now we're no longer talk about the coronavirus cases statistics, but let's just talk about its affected sectors. Here are the key sectors that have been affected by this pandemic. As we observe, since March, this coronavirus has affected so many sectors. They are economic, education, social, politics, and public health sectors. As stated in several sources here, the coronavirus outbreaks caused global economic slowdown. And based on ASEAN policy brief in 2020, the most vulnerable sectors are informal or daily wage workers, workers in affected industries, the urban poor, and micro, small, and medium enterprises, or abbreviated as MSMEs. And here's a data sample for one of the affected sectors, which is small business. The statistics in Indonesia show us that around 37,000 SMEs or small business have reported that they are affected by this pandemic very seriously. And now let's move to Malaysia's statistic of SMEs. And based on a survey done by theedgemarkets.com, the statistic in Malaysia show that only around 33.3% of their SMEs can have enough cash flow only until March, while only around 37.8% can only sustain up to April. And as you can see here in this pie chart, most of those SMEs are experiencing decreases in sales, shown as the blue color. And the scope of our discussion is social economy sectors that are related to students' daily lives. And why do we choose this sector? Well, outside the campus life, students are often utilizing many facilities which support their daily life. And the coronavirus outbreak has changed these sectors a lot, while most students still need it. So that several ideas should be implemented to fulfill these needs. And for the impact of COVID-19 pandemic onto the stakeholders beyond the varsity will be explained by Nurin. Nurin, go ahead.
Thank you, Rizka. And I'll proceed with the impact of COVID-19 toward the stakeholders beyond the Varsity Campus. Firstly, the impacts towards the businesses around the campus. And due to COVID-19 pandemics, the stalls near the campus are being closed. This is to prevent from a mass gathering and also to prevent from the virus spreading. And only the premise that involved with the essential service that can operate, such as pharmacies, clinics, and supermarkets. And even if the stalls are even reopened, there is the downtime in the operation hours, so it will limit the sellers to gain their income as much as they can. For example, in Malaysia, during the Movement Control Order, which called MCO, the business only can operate from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. And imagine how the sellers that usually operates at late night, such as the burger stalls, so they even can't survive. And furthermore, these businesses are rely heavily upon the student for their revenue. Almost 80% or more than of their income are gained from the related traffic university related traffic, and they perhaps will not survive if these situations continue and the students are not coming back to the schools. Means that the classes are forward to the remote learning. And last but not least is about the business is continue to pay rent and utilities for the employers, and plus they also need to spend more on protective equipment such as masks and sanitizer to make sure that their employees are protected enough. So moving on to the next impact, which is the underprivileged community. So this community is rely on the public space such as libraries, schools, community center to access the free Wi-Fi network. Due to COVID-19 pandemics, the public space are not available, and this make their life even harder. As said by the Curry 2017, youth in low-income neighborhood rely more heavily on local public space and use them more frequently than those in more affluent area. And also said by Varsity 2020, libraries serve as lifeline for low-income families and also provide social resources for disadvantaged children or seniors, not to mention internet access in rural communities or for those who can't afford. This shows that they are rely more on the public space. Moving on to the next point. This community also lack of internet connection and proper device to access to connect with the peers, teachers, classworks, and also the online resources. So, based on the Department of Statistics Malaysia on 2019, in rural areas, the use of computers only about 54%, while in urban areas it's 77.3%. It shows that there are still more percent of the community that left behind. Moving on to the next impact, which is the entertainment impact due to COVID-19 pandemics. As stated by the Daily Express Mail, the cinemas worldwide are forced to shut down due to COVID-19 pandemics. And also from the Hollywood Reporter, it said that the global film industry is facing $5 billion loss amid coronavirus outbreak. And it is very huge amount of losses. And as stated in 2019, the international box office contribute to a worldwide haul of 42.5 billion, whilst today, due to COVID-19 pandemics, it has been replaced by the anxiety because of that virus. I show you guys a few lists of countries that I managed to make a list. For example, is Malaysia, Indonesia, China, South Korea, and Italy. As you can see in the table above, there is very huge impact due to the entertainment industry, such as the sales has dropped and its losses amount $1 million. And yeah, as you can see in the table. So with that, I think that's all from me, and I will pass to the next presenter, Farisan, to explain more regarding the adaptation ideas. Please welcome.
Thank you, Nurin. Okay, I want to chat about adaptation. The company or business survives because need to pay salary, rent, activities, and others. But in my group research have done to this situation and focus about three sides of adaptation. For the first point, business around the campus, we have a 6 point. For the first point, turn the business into online sales, social media, e-commerce, website, online open order. We can utilize digital or smartphone technology more effectively for business use through the virtual world such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp group, and something like this to develop and sell our product productively. For the second point is collaborate with online transportation service and next offer sales to add to the consumer like discount or free gift according to the payment value rate. Stay open but follow the health protocol and just get rid of it. Try other creative business related to COVID-19. For selling mask, face mask, sewing face mask, selling hand sanitizer. And for the last point in business around the campus is why the consumer targeting not just student like selling product in cyberspace. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the second adaptation is underprivileged community. For the first point is utilize the free internet from the government. For example, as the Malaysia government thinks that the community is less able to solve the problem of not being able to financially afford the business or information issue by the government. Therefore, telecommunication operator announce free internet access of learning and productively, which include for the first 1 gig free internet access to learning and productivity, free internet access for MySejahtera and MyTrace application, and for the last, free access to free health information and news resources. And the last point for underprivileged community and is utilized and settle venue made by the stakeholder around the access free Wi-Fi and to use gadget together. And next slide. Okay, for the last point is I want to share about entertainment have a 2 point. For the first point, present movie into online paid streaming like movie movement, something like Astro, the best part of entertainment. As for the filming aspect, the production can work with Astro, which control the entertainment show in the world today. For the latest film, release and take some to the loose order to cover current expenses with the current situation. And the last point is reopen the cinema and follow the health protocol, and has security measure will be implemented at all cinema locations. Its business written as follow. For the first, hand sanitizer in all locations, temperature inspection on each customer at the ticket turn point, clean customer touch point more often, including the hall space of each movie season. Social distance markers in the quiz zone, such as tickets counter, kiosk, candy bar, and lounge room. For the fees, social distance system and 6 point and at twin between film season for more comprehensive cleaning content and perform cleaning. And for the second last point, public service announcement. And last point, cinema workers temperature twice a day. They will also observe higher personal hygiene protocol by washing and clean their hands regularly as we're using a mask. And I will pass the next topic presentation to Adi.
Okay, thank you, Barisan. Okay, let me to introduce our novel ideas. No doubt that we have to adapt in this crisis, but somebody had this word. My business is at loss. I don't have any savings, and how to use it, how to use e-commerce platform. So we propose that novel idea called Free Digicam. Digicam is Digital Kampung. Digital Kampung will be provide free internet access and free digital trade. So how to get that? The first, I will show you the basic topology of internet in the right side. We have ISP, free internet gateway, and access network. Access network is about the nearest device that we can connect into internet. So next. Next, please. So in Digital Kampung, we have 4 components. The first one is user with an account and free public Wi-Fi and access network that I illustrated by cloud and gateway web platform. The first step that we should do is connect to the free public Wi-Fi. The free public Wi-Fi will redirect you into the gateway platform. The gateway platform wants you to fill your account and then you submit it and log in. After that, you can access with free access and maybe a premium account that you can use to access e-commerce platform with free, and you can use to learn something, how to transform your product, how to transform your business into digital technology. For students, maybe you can use to access learning materials according to your school needs. Next, I will give my time to Rizka.
Okay, Group 11, you have 10 more minutes. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. So next, the idea for the entertainment sector, which is the cinema. Well, as in this pandemic situation, most people are often spending their time not far from their house. So what if the cinema brings the movies closer to your house? Well, this idea is actually a combination between the popular drive-in cinema and cinema online ticketing, which is known as TIXID in Indonesia and TGV cinemas in Malaysia. Well, we named this idea Bioskop Jalan. Basically, the Bioskop Jalan keep moving from place to place and will be placed in some kind of wide empty space. Bioskop Jalan will provide you a space to those who want to watch the movies in car, and also to those who want to watch in a small tent, especially to those who don't have car. So you don't have to worry if you don't have car, you'll still be able to watch in Bioskop Jalan, just like in this picture, which is from a cafe in Indonesia. Well, besides, the ticket should be purchased online. And also in Bioskop Jalan, we can search for the nearest Bioskop Jalan by typing our location. Then all nearest choices will be displayed. And you can see, like in this interface, you can type your location here and all the nearest Bioskop Jalan will be displayed here and you can choose. And moreover, location requests could be added in this application, so you can request for your location to be visited by Bioskop Jalan. So from this Bioskop Jalan idea, we can easily watch cinemas offline, pay tickets online, order for snacks online and will be delivered directly to your seat, choose the nearest location, and for sure still follow the health protocol. And next, for the major concern on the novel idea and how to overcome it, I will pass it to Adi. It's your turn again, Adi.
Okay, thank you, Rika. So, the transformation has challenges. There is many challenges that we should face it. But from the adaptation and the novel ideas, you can conclude that internet is key. You can publish your creativity into people that far away from you. So next, the first major challenge is about internet speed. It's based on research of We Are Social and Hot Suite on mobile connection and fixed connection. As you can see in the screen, we know that mobile connection of Malaysia and Indonesia had lower mobile connection on world average connection. For example, Indonesia has 13.8 Mbps and Malaysia has 23.8 Mbps, but for the world average is 32 Mbps. For the comparison, the highest mobile connection in South Korea valued at 103.2 Mbps. Instead of that, fixed connection, Indonesia had lower from world average connection, but Malaysia had little higher than world average connection. As the comparison, the highest connection speed at Singapore. So we can conclude that we had low connection speed. So we have to make it faster. So the second concern is about digital readiness. As IMD, Institute of Management and Development, Indonesia ranked by 56 and Malaysia ranked by 26. The factor that make you ready for digital technology, first one is knowledge, technology, and future readiness. As you can see in the bottom side, we have 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses for each country. In Indonesia, we have weakness on internet speed, gadget possession, and government. But in Malaysia, we have weakness on internet retailing, starting a business, science and technical employment. So how to overcome it? Next. So we need a collaboration. We propose a pentahelix collaboration. Pentahelix consists of government, academic, community, media, and business. The role of government is create a national program on internet investment, such as internet infrastructure, maybe a free access on agenda. And academic has role to provide workshop and training to people who don't know how to use digital technology. And academic should provide engineers and specialists on engineering digital technology. And community is an actor. It's an actor to move forward to transform into digital technology. And media has role to provide useful and interactive media that we can learn from the media. And business have a role to provide high quality technology that we can compete to the global competition.
Group 11,
So
you have
for
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Yes. So for the conclusion and the recommendation, I will give time to Aisha.
Thank you, Adi. So first of all, I would like to recap what the previous presenters have mentioned. So I would like to clarify that our sectors chosen are mostly about social economy sectors, such as we revolve around businesses around campus, entertainment industry, and small media enterprises. So for impact of pandemic within the varsity, we have mentioned about how cinemas are forced to shut down, underprivileged community are struggling with internet connection, and businesses in campus are having a hard time to survive due to students not coming back to campus. And adaptation done, we have talked about how businesses around campus are forced to operate online and how the adaptations are done. For example, giving free data, free online streaming to help the cinema industry. And the novel LDS we have suggested about the new revised online ticketing, drive-in, and most about following health protocols. And the major concern we have state that the concerns are mostly about digital readiness of the countries involved, internet speed, and pandemic collaboration. So what I would like to conclude is that mostly our solution is about how digital technology is the most popular solution to the previous mentioned sector, because we are in the modern era, so everything revolves around technology. So we have to adapt ourselves to how the world is at right now. So second of all, internet coverage can be an advantage for business sectors and disadvantage for underprivileged community. What I can explain about this is that underprivileged community is more of people who not only don't have enough internet connection, but they live in areas that don't have coverage. For example, even if you live in Selangor or KL, you're not guaranteed with enough coverage or enough connection. I myself sometimes when I stream something or I try to log in something, my internet is acting up. But so imagine how it's like to people who live in rural areas. So the third one is this pandemic forces businesses to alter their operations, which means that they have to reinvent new ways, new solutions to operate their businesses and making new invention to keep generating sales. And this is evident by how the businesses are advertising their products and making new changes. So next slide. So this is the recommendations. What I can recommend is, first of all, for students and business owners. For students, it is best for example, in UniMAP, we have different campuses. It's best for student council or the students collaboratively to develop ideas and research with respective campus on conducting business in campus. For example, in UniMAP, we have this one website or one app so that operates 24/7 for students to advertise and promote the product. So this is such a good way and can be I guess very another variations of this app, so that students get more exposure compared to other social media platforms where there are many sellers selling the same product. So students get more exposure this way. Plus, students need to support the sales of SME business by buying the product and services, because SMEs are the people who need it the most. For example, your friends are selling the product, you must buy it from them. Second, business owners, SMEs, related sectors such as entertainment, the sectors that we have mentioned, they have to adapt their business operation based on current health and safety regulations. And they need to be attentive to change on trends, because customers are always having the different preferences based on the trends. Plus, for businesses who have hard time struggling, for example, the first few months of COVID, they need to raise cash, have a financial plan. What products are they going to sell? What products are they going to eliminate or something? They have to have a long term to recover back their losses. And plus, if the businesses don't want to hire new staff, they need to upskill so that they can save their expenses and more towards the quality of their workers. So that is all for recommendations. Next slide. Okay, so that concludes our presentation. So thank you everyone, for the panelists, everyone, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Group 11, it was such an excellent presentation. It caught my attention on the I'm a movie goers. I feel bad because the business is very much affected. Anyway, moving on to last but not least, group 12. We have group 12, Vanya, Frederica, Charles Leonardi, Adilatul Latifatun Jannah, Blessing Chigozirim Patrick, Nur Sufazantini binti Suzaini, Ruzaini Muhammad Ruhizat. Okay, over to you. You have 25 minutes to present. Good luck.
So, good morning, the reviewer, the participant, and audience of TNIDES 2020. It's a nice day to meet you all. In this opportunity, we would like to present about new normal University Campus implementing novel technology in the post-COVID-19 pandemic, which we are focused on designing and executing post-COVID-19 adaptation ideas beyond the Varsity Campus. But before we start the presentation, we would like to introduce ourselves. So for me, my name is Vanya Frederica from ITS and my friends.
My name is Adilatul Latifatun Jannah. I am from ITS. Hi guys.
And my name is Charles Leonardi from ITS. Hi guys.
Hi, I'm Nur Sufazantini from UniMAP.
My name is Ruzaini binti Muhammad Ruhizat from UniMAP.
Hi guys, my name is Blessing Chigozirim Patrick from UniMAP.
Okay, so this is our presentation outline, which will be presented by our teams. And without further ado, let's start our presentation. So, COVID-19 pandemic, also known as coronavirus pandemic, was first identified in Wuhan on December 2019. And the World Health Organization was declared this disease as a pandemic on March 2020. As of 12 September 2020, more than 28.6 million cases have been reported on 188 countries and resulting over 970,000 deaths. Not only caused deaths, but this pandemic also have affected many sectors in the world. This pandemic has caused global social economic disruption and also education problem. And we also urge and appeal to stay at home, no traveling, avoided crowded place like mall, and unconsciously, technology become an intermediary between us for social interaction, communication, and for learning. And now, new normal is a new way of life that we are ready to adapt with this pandemic with some new of lifestyle. We should follow the health protocol like wearing masks, wash hand frequently, or using hand sanitizer. This lifestyle is aims to prevent the spread and transmission of COVID-19. And now we are faced with the adaptation transition with that we should follow the new lifestyle, more using e-wallet for our payment, using online apps for our daily activity, and the blended learning for students. And the next presentation will be presented by our friends. Blessing, time is yours.
Okay, so I'll be talking about the impact of COVID-19 virus on the stakeholders beyond the varsity. So one of the biggest impact of COVID-19 virus was the nationwide and worldwide lockdown. This was due to confront the threats of the COVID-19 virus. Secondly was the closing down of the schools. Many students had to face greater food insecurities and loss of family income, while some had to adapt to the new online learning style, and some had problems with their environments, and some had to face mental problems due to cancellation of graduations because they have been preparing for a long time. While some families were sad because of the loss of lives due to the pandemic and the damage of the society. Next slide. Next slide. So the impacts of COVID-19 on the communities and societies. So the COVID-19 outbreak affected all the segments of the population, social groups in the most vulnerable situations, especially people living in poverty situations, older persons and youths, and persons with disabilities. For example, homeless people were highly exposed to the danger of the virus. People without access to running water, refugees, migrants, or displaced people stand a greater chance of getting affected by the pandemic and facing the aftermath. Next slide. So the impact of the COVID-19 on businesses was so great. All the major industries of the world are currently dealing with the devastating effects of the COVID-19, from manufacturing to marketing. So 2020 has been seen as a very big change in the business. 93% believe that there will be a negative impact on the businesses. So out of the 93%, 28% believe that there will be a long-term negative impact of the COVID-19 virus, while 65% are expecting a short-term negative impact. But the negative impact can be a wide range, and it depends on the nature of the business. But the most obvious one would be on the revenues. Next slide. So now I'll be talking about the worldwide revenues impacts. So the COVID-19 has really shaken the worldwide revenue. The beginning of 2020, due to the rapid spread of the COVID-19, 86% of all businesses are expecting the revenue to significantly fall due to the outbreak. So out of the 86%, 33% believe the revenue will fall below 15%, while 21% believe the revenue is going to fall below 10% to 15%, while another 33% believe revenue is going to fall below 10% or less. Due to all this, the significant drop in revenue will have a trickle-down effect on the economy, as companies are struggling to adjust their business strategies in preparation for the economic downturn. Thank you.
So, the adaptation done by the stakeholders to survive is what is actually adaptation, is how the people make themselves suit with the condition, especially with the pandemic in all of us and worldwide. So, what is stakeholders? Stakeholder is basically among the owners, employees, workers, supplier, and etc. And for the business sector, organizational agility was once desirable, but now they are more centralized and to business survival, where all the businesses are not up to profit but all to survive. For the owners, they basically need to narrow down the scope to smaller and targeted audience, means they have their own targeted audience and not to mean to make profit. Furthermore, the decreases of the numbers of stock because of less number of buyers. Then the third one is seek government aid. For example, Malaysia has a lot of government aid which being supplied to the owner or the businesses. And furthermore, we can continue with digital marketing, which is digitalization's marketplace, where this thing, where when you use digital technologies to change a business's model or provide new revenues and value-producing opportunities, where all the businesses usually from the store or anything be digitalization, and they're being sold online, up to online. So next slide. And for the employee sector being affected during COVID-19, where all the workers need to face the low wages due to low number of buyers, extra work due to there's no other employer, underpaid leave where they cannot take any leave, simply take their leave, and termination where certain employer will terminate the worker due to low profitable. Then, employees or work adaptation is where the person need to searching job vacancy through online, where they cannot go out, especially during the lockdown, but they need to continue survive. And adaptation with work at home style, but this will especially a bit difficult to those who usually work in office or outside, but they need to adapt with the work at home. So I'll pass the next presentations to Adila.
Okay guys, here I will explain about our novel idea called Beyond C or Beyond Campus Application, an integrated application that will help the user minimize time consuming outside while they do their need or activity around campus. These apps also can be used as a database that saves contact information of service around the campus. Next, I will explain about the application.
So, what's inside these apps? First, the user should log in into this app by filling the username and then fill the password and go login. Here, the user will see in the Future tab, but before we go to the User tab, the user should fill their location first. So, this app can give the best suggestion. For example, we put Institut Teknologi 10 November. Okay, next. These apps contain 6 features such as food, laundry, printing, hospital and truck, packing and delivery, and news. First, we choose the food feature. In here, the user will see the stall list around ITS campus. Then, for example, we choose the first list. Here, the user will see the menu and the price. The user will also can order through the Gojek and Grab if it is available. If it is not, the user can also contact to the owner of the store by click this option. In here, the user can ask to the owner about what they want to order, and then the owner will prepare it. Then the user can pick the order when it is finished without waiting outside or in the store. Okay, that's all for the food. We can go back. Next, for the laundry. Here, the user will see the list of the laundry agent. For example, we choose this one. In here, the user can contact to the laundry owner and ask whether the owner can pick the user t-shirt or not, and etc. And here the user can also see the price that available. Okay, back. Next, for the printing feature, same as before. Here the user can see the list of printing agent. Here some example for the example. We can choose this one, and here the user can see the service available. The user can contact the agent through this option. This feature also can help the student who want to print their final project or task and send to the lecturer or library through the printing agent. Okay, next. We can go back. Next, for the hospital and truck. Here, the user will see 3 kind of menu. First, for the health facility, this menu can bring the user to a maps that show the health facility around ITS campus. Then for the consultation, the user will see some application lists that can help the user contact or ask doctor, such as HelloDoc, YesDoc, or Grab Health. Okay, for the medicine, the user will see some application and contact of drugstore such as Apoteka 24, Grab Health, HelloDoc, and Kimia Pharma Center. Okay, we can go back. And for the packing and delivery, here for the packing and delivery feature, this feature will help the user, especially for students who already back to their hometown, who cannot reach their thing in dormitory or boarding home. This menu can help the student to pick their things in their dormitory or boarding house. This feature is divided into two types, for men and for the woman. Okay, back. The left feature is news. Here, the user will get the update news and also donate who want to give donation. Okay, back. I think that's all about what inside this app. Thank you.
Okay, next. Okay, here.
You have 10 minutes, yeah?
Okay, thank you. Here for the pros and cons for the application. For the plus side, there are this application is easy to use and many in one and flexible. Also informative because it contain many contact agent of the service around the campus and help the business around the campus to working. And for the minus, this app is need to conduct direct survey and then need to do manual data input, and then the third is should be online, and the fourth is we have to have a partnership to contribute in our application. I think that's all. Next.
Okay, first major concern regarding new adaptation is people reluctant or unwillingness and hesitant to get involved in the change. People are reluctant because they are fear of losing control to their original role or how they manage their life before the change. They already used to the way they live, and sudden unwanted change not only cost them additional cost, but oftentimes it becomes hindrance as the change eventually shape their new normal. Moreover, cases like misuse of the app, such as prank and scam, will cause doubt among users. Even if only one incident happened, the news will spread like wildfire, and already uncertain people will become even more paranoid to use the apps. Next concern is unbalancing in economic sector. While adapting to change, information and knowledge play a very crucial part. Some might find simple way on how to get the knowledge by self-teaching themselves or by reading simple instruction, while others might have harder time. When the business owner who does not have knowledge on how to use the app does not receive any guidance, or even worse, does not even want to try learning, it will lead to their own disadvantages. Last concern are actual availability of the apps. This is because in order to use the app, first we need smartphone, which obviously almost everyone have, but still there is people out there who doesn't own the device. There is also concern on how people with disability can use the apps, especially for those with visual impairment. Next slide, please. How to overcome the concern of people reluctancy is we have to acknowledge their concern and try to be understanding as much as we can. Encourage them instead of forcing them to obey. Regarding misuse of the app, we have to be strict by introducing serious punishment to combat their unacceptable behavior. Punishments such as fine or warning might be needed. To overcome unbalancing, we have to expose the business owner to the knowledge on how they can correctly use the app. Hiring professional admin or service that open 24 hours to help people that have additional questions. We must try our best to guide them. For the availability problem, we can prepare a center that has smartphone and good internet coverage for each residency. So, people with internet or smartphone problem can go to the center and use the apps there. To help people with disability, we can prepare a voice comment so they can command the app to work by using their voice only. Next, Charles.
Okay, thank you. So, in conclusion, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed all aspects of human life, both in the short and long term, and these conditions have impacts to society and many stakeholders, of organizations, companies, and they must to adapt in the era of the COVID-19 pandemic because of this condition. Next. And then, to accelerate adaptation efforts and reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19, it requires public awareness and measures that make it easier for the public and business sector to meet their needs by online. However, so far the online applications stands on their own. So it will waste time if we select them one by one and makes difficult if the user in the urgent situations such as accident or maybe illness. We propose a multifunctional application that integrates transportation, health, education, shopping, etc. That are currently widely accessed by the public. Integrating this application is expected to be able to minimize time consuming, reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19, and make people more adaptive in this condition. Next. And we recommend to organization, to government or non-government organization to conduct a survey of social and economic conditions of our society or community, and then we need to conduct socialization repeatedly. But the most powerful one is word of mouth, and also we need to collaborate to achieve common goal, not only the stakeholders of these obligations, but many aspects of us, of our society. And at last, we need to support each other in this situation and make it less stressful. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we would like to express our grateful to God Almighty for blessing us with health and opportunity right now, and we like to express our appreciation to ITS Global Engagement and Center for International Engagement UniMAP for have made this program, and also the reviewer, participant, and the audience of 10 Ideas. And I also have a closing poem to you. Pergi ke pasar membeli makaroni, pulang-pulang membawa ketupat. Berakhir sudah presentasi ini, semoga bermanfaat. Thank you for your attention. I will give back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you Group 12 for such a fantastic presentation. And that was a very cute pantun. I will buy the pantun later, okay? And yeah, job well done for Group 10, 11, and 12. And we will have a 5-minute break before we move on to the Q&A session by the reviewer. In the meantime, to all the audience, you may start sending questions during the 60-minute Q&A session. Leave your questions in the chat box. Okay, 5-minute break. See you again then. Hi again everyone, we're back. Let's move on to the Q&A session. So let's get right into it with our first questions from the panelists. Okay, for our first panelist, I would like to call upon Dr. Aimi Saliha Abdul Nasir, reviewer number 1 from UniMAP for the Q&A session.
Assalamualaikum and good day. Hello everyone. So first of all, I would like to thank you very much to all presenters for the impressive presentation and the excellent novel ideas that have been shared by each group. So for my first question, I would like to point this question to group number 10. Okay, so in your presentation, you have proposed a novel idea to help small business based on the current situation of COVID. So what are the main factors that triggers your group to propose this idea to help especially to help the small business?
Thank you for your questions. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so I would like to answer about the main factor to help the small businesses. Is that correct? So the factor to help small businesses is that as I say at my presentation before, is because it's crucial to help our incoming that are most likely to happen, the global financial crisis, because based on our research, the previous global financial crisis at 2008, most East Asian countries survived those by basically consume what we produce. So it's small businesses is like essential and important to help us to survive the global financial crisis. So that is the main factor for us to help the small businesses. Thank you.
Okay, so my second question, still in group 10. So if I'm not mistaken, in your presentation, you did mention that the aim of your novel idea is to facilitate small business to strive more. So how it's going to work?
Yes, to make it thrive more it can go by many ways. In our opinion, it is where we get fund, we get some first capital from many people. And second is to broaden the marketing. And we believe that the e-commerce or digital marketing is the most fit way to do that. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for the representative of Group 10. So now I would like to ask this question to Group 11. So in your presentation, you have mentioned that digital technology can contribute to national sector by proposing DigiCamp, or we call it as Digital Kampung. So what are the main factors that may trigger your group to propose this Digital Kampung?
So thank you for the question, man. So for the motivation part for the background of Digital Kampung, that we know that some people of underprivileged or maybe some business people on micro and small business had a problem to access internet, especially the cost of internet. You know, we had high cost of internet, like data of internet, and maybe we don't, and some people don't know how to use that, how to transform their product into digital platform. So we need to provide them to access e-learning materials that contain how to make it great marketing in digital, maybe how to make a photograph, how to make a digital marketing, maybe YouTube channels and something like that. And then because of that, underprivileged community, students from become such as learning part, how to use internet in good way.
Okay, so based on your novel ideas of this digital kampung, so what are the main benefits that can be gained, especially for the society? The main benefits, the major benefits that can be gained by the society.
So the main benefit for the digital kampung, especially they don't need to spend the money for the cost of internet data, and they can accelerate for business. For business, they can accelerate their business into digital platform. You know, some of business, micro business especially, they cannot, but they don't know how to transform it. So we provide them with e-learning materials so they can accelerate the product, their service into digital way. I think that's the the main benefit of our novel IDs.
Okay, thank you, representative from group 11. So now we'll proceed the question to group 12. So for group 12, you have proposed an apps which include variety of features, for example, like Grab Food, Grab Help. So what are the major features that can actually differentiate between your purpose apps with the available apps in the market? What are the most major features that can differentiate between these two apps?
Okay, may I interrupt? Group 12, you have only 3 minutes to answer the questions. Thank you.
So, as the major, starting with the question just now.
Oh, okay. The difference between this app and the app that already provide is this app can reach small UMKM and unit all the small seller that not connect to the like Grab or Gojek, and this app also can use as a database for the WhatsApp contact of the owner, so the user can use this app without internet connection. And for everyone who want to join to this app also track their location, so this app can give the best suggestion for the user.
Okay, so for my second question, if in your presentation, if I'm not mistaken, you did mention some limitations of your proposed idea. For example, you need to conduct direct survey, and then you need to manually key in the data. Am I right? So can you please elaborate more on these two? So why you need to conduct direct survey? And also, what you mean by manually input the data?
Okay, I will answer. So as the data is basically, it's hard for the person who is not good with the smartphone. So if we conduct this app, we will need someone or agent to help them, to guide them with the apps. Then we manually help them to enter all the data, so and also show how to do the apps so that everyone can use the app.
Okay, thank you very much for representative from group 10, 11 and 12. I think that's all questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aini Saliha. Thank you, Wulan Rahayu, Adi Utama, Adi Latul, and Tini for the answers. So moving on, I would like to call upon Ms. Nurina Orta Darmawati, reviewer number 2 from ITS, to proceed with the Q&A session.
Hello everyone. Okay, maybe moving on to straight to my question. For the group 10, it's a very interesting presentation, and you go straight to the economic point of view. Interesting application, but one thing I like to ask is it going to be an application for investor looking for business for investing their money, or is it going to be an application when you are running a business like a regular e-commerce, and then investor can review from there and they decide are they going to invest in which business? So I think which kind of application, because once you make an application, it should be very, very clear which is the user and what are the benefit they get from it. As from the group 10, And then the next is from group 11. Group 11 is you have a very broad ideas about about how to make a solution. But I'd like to ask from like cinema, from like kampung and etc. Which one do you think is the most urgent and important solution above all that you propose to us? So if you have to pick one, which one is the most urgent and important for now? And for the last group, it's also a very interesting application for student. Especially I imagine when I was a student, if I'll be very lazy, I will just sit in my room and order everything. But the question is, because you have it's just like a huge application like Grab or Gojek and etc. They are very big application. My question is why student will pick your application instead they just go straight to Grab and picking everything, or they can go to Grab Health, because Grab, for example, they have everything I need in one application. And why should I go to your application? Why should I use yours? Maybe that's the question for the group 12. Okay, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to answer about the question from the reviewer. It is clear that from our app, I think the first option is our go-to. So there will be some. So the investor doesn't invest on the whole app, but they will invest on each of the small businesses, and the small businesses is also the user. And we can note that the investors is also the user. So I think the first option is the most reliable and the fit way. Thank you.
Okay, any other groups? We have only 6 minutes to cover the Q&A session.
Okay, for group 12, I will answer. Okay, this app is not really about competing with other apps, but we do have services that other apps doesn't have. For example, Grab, they doesn't even have printing services. So through this app, we also can provide the service such as printing, and furthermore, we also have laundry. So why this app should be used by the students, so that this is one of the apps that they need to use. This is because we can reach the small UMKM. I think because the price will be cheap, because we are narrowed down our seller to the small.
Can you switch on your video, please? Thank you.
Sorry. Right. So, as the app says, will help the small businesses such as the warung, the seller, and these features are not provided in Gojek or Grab, because actually Grab and Gojek is additional option where the main feature is to connect with the WhatsApp and owners so that they can order directly without waiting, and this can reduce the time of waiting. And this app also can use as a database, because this app also have the same number of contact of the owner. So thank you.
Alright. As for the group 11, I will be the representative to answer the question from the reviewer. Based on the question, which is most important between the DigiCamp and Bioskop Jalan that we already proposed, I think it is better to focus first with the DigiCamp idea. And the main is because using the DigiCamp, we can uplift our community together, which as we said before, that the underprivileged community, they most rely on the public space, and they don't even have the accommodation to access to the internet by themselves. And by doing the DigiCamp first, we will make sure that no one is left behind the community. So we will uplift the community together, and we should provide more opportunities to those who are not able to get the opportunities.
Okay, anyone else would like to answer the questions, or is everyone answering your question, Miss Nurina? All group 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah, I think everyone is answering their question. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Nurina. Thank you, Ulan. Thank you, Nurindiana. And thank you, Tini. All right, moving on. I would like to call upon Mr. Muhammad Rusli Abdul Ghani, reviewer number 3 from UniMAP for the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nina. And thank you, group presenters from Group 10, Group 11, and Group 12 for the good presentation. Okay, basically my question for those 3 groups are more or less the same about the problems. The 3 groups mention about the impact on the pandemic, but then you do not you do not provide the statistic in terms of how serious the problem has impacted the those groups. But then when it comes to the recommendation, solution, or novel ideas, you can come up with a specific solution such as apps. But then I don't know, those apps specifically addressed to which group that seriously affected by the pandemic. So those questions I'm open to those 3 groups. Basically, your solution I'm not very clear in terms of you are solving which group that affected very much by the pandemic. Okay, thank you.
All right, any takers from any group, 10, 11, or 12 to answer the questions?
All right, I'm representative from Group 10. Thank you for your question, Sir Rosli. So for our group, our app is specifically we are aiming for the small business people. That means they belong to underprivileged family, the B40 families, because I feel like those who have companies or even medium entrepreneurs, they would be able to survive a bit more compared to those who are from B40 families, because B40 families, they are more likely to have a family to where they work for their family, besides even if they have a small company or even a small stall. The main importance is for them to feed their family. So that's why our aim is to help the underprivileged family, and then only it comes to the medium entrepreneurs and big companies. I hope I answered your question, sir. Thank you.
Any takers from group 11 or 12 to answer the questions?
Okay, I think I will answer the question from Mr. Rosli. So from group 11, for our solution, which are DigiCamp or Digital Kampung and Bioskop Jalan, it all targeted to the business sectors, but specifically for the Digital Kampung, it is for those who cannot afford the internet access. Just like in our slide say, it is for the underprivileged community, but also for all those business sectors. And for the Bioskop Jalan, I think it is for the cinema who cannot reopen their cinema in their place. So I think that's all.
Group 12, we have like 5 minutes more. Any takers from group 12?
So from group 12, I'll be answering the question. So the solution is for students and businesses that are affected the most. Our app is focused on smaller business, and it's mostly from B40 because they need to survive. And people who live near the campus, students both who stay in boarding house, dorm, and students who are already back to the hometown. Our app is to make them to help continue the businesses, and also to help people who are already gone back to their hometown.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad Rusli. Thank you, Siti Nur Halima, Rizka Amelia, and Blessing Patrick. And I would like to call upon Dr. Chandra Irawan, reviewer number 4 from ITS, to proceed with the Q&A session.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Chandra Irawan from ITS Surabaya. Yeah, excuse me. Okay. Sorry, because we have another meeting, so I have to change position. Okay, there are three groups in this meeting. So I think it is a very interesting idea, yeah, regarding with the COVID-19 business condition for COVID-19. There are three questions for group 10, group 11, and group 12. For group 10, global financial crisis, and you include small business, I think, in your presentation. In my question, you mentioned that regarding this investor, is it possible if the investor is to government, yeah, not to private government? Because I think if we to private company or private investor, because due to the COVID-19 effect, yeah, the private company it is also have a problem with their financial. So I think it is a good idea if the investor is from government. Okay, for group 10, and then for group 12, yeah, sorry, for group 11, regarding with pre-digital, yeah, kampung digital, yeah, from kampung digital. My question is it possible if we applicate your idea in Indonesia? Because you know that regarding with the social, yeah, for kampung, I mean kampung is not in the city, in the village. Is it possible or not to applicate in the village? And then the last, yeah, for group 12. For group 12, regarding with your application, I think it is very interesting, yeah, very interesting to help the students in their activity. My question is, in UniMAP, both in UniMAP and also in ITS, is your application has been used in ITS or in UniMAP? That is my question. I think all idea is interesting for group 10, 11, and 12. Thank you.
So thanks for the question, Mr. Chandra. Adi from group 11. I will answer your question about digital kampung. So the kampung is not in the village, but kampung is a small group of some people. Maybe we can use the word of RT to tetangga in Indonesia. So actually it is possible. In my city, Madiun city, you can see that this program actually is provided by the government. It's like not the one RT. It's like in how to say post sampling. Yes, in the post sampling you can see the Wi-Fi router from the government that provide public Wi-Fi. So, but actually we should prioritize. We should prioritize the most affected people, especially for business in micro business that cannot afford internet connection. So I think it's possible, very possible to provide. Is it clear? Maybe.
Yeah, but I think it is better if your idea can be applicated also in village side, because in this condition, di kampung is appropriate also for in the village, I think.
Yeah, maybe the alternative not using Wi-Fi but using the cellular technology. Like in Indonesia, we can know about Bayu, Bayu, and maybe the platform like Bayu, that we can get free access through the cellular technology. But I think because the mobile connection is low, the connection is low, so we can use a fixed connection, such as a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah,
So
I think that is the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah, that's the
also
problem. So
thinking-
we can overcome it with the pentahelix collaboration that I said before.
Yeah, in the village also the problem is internet connection. But the real condition is in the COVID-19 in the COVID-19 COVID-19 almost all students must study online. So all
Yeah.
in the village, how they use the internet. So it is the problem. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
Okay, we have 3 minutes more. Please proceed with the answers we have from group 10 and group 12.
I would like to answer. Okay, in Malaysia, we also have similar apps like this name Messenger apps where all the student or user can check. Yes, Messenger app. Where the student just enter their location or activate their GPS and we can check whether our location is high risk or low risk or safe. But in this app, we include every service such as Grab, and we also include small business for students, like they can simply send what they document they want to print to the small business and they can for us. In Indonesia, they doesn't have similar apps such as MySejahtera apps, but we have extra feature like services. We can just simply scanning QR code, then we can access the service.
Okay. In Malaysia, in Malaysia. How about Indonesia? Maybe.
I will add for the answer for the 12 group. I think in Indonesia there is no application like this. This application is come for especially our problem when we get that we get in this pandemic, like when we need to print our final project and our task, and we need to send the final project on the task to the library or to the lecture, but there is no information how we can do that. So this app help the student to do that. And for the food, if some small business is not connect to the Grab and Gojek, so through these apps the user can contact the owner, ask that they want to order, and wait the owner to serve the food, so they don't need to wait in outside or in the store. So it helps the user.
Okay, you have one more minute to wrap up this Q&A session.
Okay.
Any other answers?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandra. I'm Anggun from Group 10 to answer your question. Well, actually, for government, if government want to being an investor is okay, but it's depend on the country and government itself. Because nowadays, the country are in the healing process. So this app actually help the government to solve one of the problem is to support small businesses. Because as we know that government also already give some money towards, in Indonesia we say UMKM or small businesses to do their business, but it seems didn't help a lot. So we make this app to make the small businesses more bigger and can sustain in this pandemic era. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer.
All right, thank you, Dr. Chandra Irawan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anggun, Adli Utama, Huzaini, and Adilatul. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Muhammad Sufyan Muhammad Rosby, reviewer number 5 from UniMAP. Please welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to all participants. I think all the group is very good in presenting your ideas. You have very good ideas about the digitalization of business opportunity during the COVID-19. I think it's a very great topic and very relevant in a current situation. Okay, so I would like to go for group number 10. Okay, for group number 10, okay, you said about the government stimulus package. Okay, you talk about the government support. So my question is, what is the significance of the government support? Or you can say that what is the effect of government support in the post-COVID-19, which is in current time. So what is the significance of government support? Okay, could you give some explanation or case study or anything that you think the government support is very important that can be as a good factors in survival in this post-COVID-19. Okay. So could you elaborate about that one for group 10?
Group 10, over to you, group 10.
All right. Thank you for the question, Mr. Sofian. So there are several government support that citizens got. For example, for the people that give monthly income less than 5 million rupiah, we got government support like around 600,000 rupiah. I think it is important for citizens to get government support to make they to keep buying a thing, because in this pandemic they didn't really want to buy a thing, and it really affect our market system, and it make our market system become unstable, and it's dangerous for our nation. Maybe another friends can add my answer.
I would like to add on to Anggun's answer. As we can see, family is, those who are doing business, they also have family, which means that they have children who go to universities, who go to schools. So as we can see, nowadays I feel like the government are increasing scholarship. You know, like usually the scholarship is only available early of the year, but nowadays I can see the scholarships are available even if it has already, more than June. Now we are in September, but the scholarships are still available. So they are trying to help the students so that the parents wouldn't have to burden the money and they have to focus just for the business. That's all from me. Thank you.
I think it's a very good answer. You want to say that the government support is a vital or the main element in surviving in the next period of the COVID. I think that is what is your intention, right? Group number 10. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you for your good answer. Then I would like to go for group number 11. Okay, group number 11. Okay, are you there? Group number 11? Ada tak group there? Group number 11. Yeah. Okay. So in your presentation, you proposed that a new business idea, which is bicycle jalan. Bicycle jalan. My question is, do you compare this idea with the Netflix? Okay. How your idea is different with Netflix, because Netflix we can use as home theaters. Okay. But bicycle jalan, you need to use car or you need to go outside. Sometimes you are exposed to the COVID-19 spreading or infection. So how you can comment about this thing? Okay? How your idea is superior than Netflix? Okay, in terms of business plan, profit, and safety measures. Okay, maybe you can share something or you can answer anything that you think relates to my question.
Okay, since we only have 5 minutes, so I have to divide the 5 minutes to 2.5 minutes per group, yeah? Okay? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I will answer the question. For the bioskop jalan and Netflix, I think for all of us, since this pandemic situation, we are almost locked down in our home. So for this bioskop jalan, I think it can be a great choice for us, to those who want to go outside to watch movies offline but still follow the health protocol, because as we said in our presentation that bioskop jalan still follow the health protocol, and the ticket can be purchased by online, and also when we want to order snack, the waitress can go directly to our seat and something like that. And also for the Netflix, in Netflix we only have Netflix movies, but in bioskop jalan we can have more movies, so something like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I think you focus on bioskop jalan where the organizer can come to your place. I think that is your main selling point. Okay, I think. Yes. Okay, thank you. For the next group number 12. Okay. Are you listening at group number 12? Okay. And yes, from your presentation, okay, I see it's very good. You talk about the e-wallets, e-money, okay, which is a touchless payment system. Okay. So what is your comment or elaboration about the Bitcoin? Do you think that is also one of the option for payment system during this COVID-19? Okay, about the Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency. Okay, do you think it's a very good payment also, or very secure or not, comparing to the e-wallet or e-money? Okay, could you give some suggestion or anything about this one?
Okay, group 12, you have 2 minutes. Group 12.
Ada. Do you have any answer?
I would like to answer. As Bitcoin is a digital and global money system, this means even global people can transfer the Bitcoin value to the user. For example, I stay in Malaysia, but my friends stay in Indonesia. If I were to change the currency, it will take longer time. But by using Bitcoin, I can just transfer the value I want. If my friend in Indonesia need help, I think it will be secure, because in order to use the apps, first foremost we have to enter our identification number. So I think it will be secure.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, I think thank you Dr. Muhammad Sufian Muhammad Rusbi, and thank you Anggun, thank you Siti Nurhalima, thank you Rizka, thank you Ruzaini. All right, moving on, I would like to call upon Mr. Mavindra Ramdhani, reviewer number 6 from ITS, to proceed with the Q&A session. Please welcome.
My question for Group 10 is, what the name of your application? Because the investor needs the best name for the application.
Thank you for your questions. I would like to answer that. For us, we still haven't decided yet about the name, but I think the name is a very important factors. I agree that, because we must attract as much as possible, but if we would like to name the app, it will be like Invest Me or Go Business or something like that. We still have a lot of time to think, and I would like if my member could have the idea Any idea?
Yeah, I agree with Wulan that I also agree with the app name with Invest Me or even co-business, because these names have the keyword of business, which means that whenever people search anything related to business, there are chances of this app to come up, so that people can try installing it and then they will start to register and create an account. So it's a good idea, Wulan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your answer, because I think the best name, it can be the money magnet for the investor. Okay, I want to ask for the group 11. You already said that internet is the key. Okay, this very amazing idea about free DigiCamp and business around the campus, how to support these cinemas. Okay, you already said that internet is the key. Okay, how about the money for your idea? Group 11.
Thank you for the question, sir. So, for the money, yes, I have said that we need collaboration from government, academic, business, community, and the media. So actually, for the funding, we can use like a national program for the government, or maybe like incentive from the business that provide CSR, like social campaign, maybe like social movement, to provide internet in free internet for the people that cannot afford it. So I think it will be the national program or national campaigns from the government. So the funding not only from the government, but it can be also from the business sector that have high cash flow.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Adi Utama. So I think you must make a proposal to support this idea. Yeah. Okay, I thank you for the answer.
We have to make some proposal.
Yes, thank you for the answer. Okay, for the group 12, new normal Universiti implementing novel technology. Okay, I think your name application is easy to catch, easy listening, Beyonce. It's correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Beyonce. Okay, I want to ask about the application. You already said about the strength of the application. I want to ask about what the weakness of this application. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to answer about the weakness of this application. The weakness of this application is one day if the application is used by the user, this application need to be upgraded to the disabled person, because this application do not have those special features for the blind or deaf person. So the weakness is they cannot be used because there's no special features for them. So if the apps being upgraded into new features, so this can be help for the disability people to use it too. So that's all for me, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tini. I think if there is application, there is a strength point and there is a weakness. But I think your group is already decreased the weakness point. Thank you for the answer. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Mavindra Ramdhani. Thank you, Wulan, Siti Nur Halima, Adlin Utama, and Tini. All right. Well, now we'll go on to the Q&A session by the audience. I will read out the questions. Thank you for providing the questions. We have sorted out all of them and we'll be addressing as many as we can during the session. Okay, let's go right into with our first questions from the audience. All right, question number 1 from Pramudia Tiandana Wisnu from ITS. A great presentation from all groups. I would like to ask group 12, your application provide the accessibility to gather information from seller. If users choose to use something then call seller, what do they expect after that, which will differ from the other apps? Because for some apps like Gojek and Grab, it's a delivery feature for them. Okay, group number 12. Any takers?
Okay, so I'll answer.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so for this question, the answer is this application. When we go out to buy our daily needs or things we need, usually this application is not that hard to use. It's mainly to our daily activities also. And also, it can also help because here the question stated that can we gather information from the sellers if we use this application and call the sellers? Yes, we can. We can gather information, and it's not the same features like Gojek and Grab, but there's additional features we added into our application, and the main features is to also connect to WhatsApp and to contact the users directly also. So this app can do everything, can call the user, can do the video call, the chat, everything you need. Much upgraded than the Gojek and the Grab. Thank you.
All right, thank you, group 12 from Blessing Patrick. Okay, now moving on to the next question. From Yusri Rahmatul Iza, ITS. The question is, I would like to ask Group 11, what are your concrete steps to realize the Pentaholics collaboration that you mentioned before? Thank you. Okay, over to you, Group 11.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. I want to answer this question. Okay, for the first step, government create a national program or national campaign to make digital transformation such as Industry Revolution 4.0 campaign accelerate building internet infrastructure incentive for business that transform to digital. And for the second step, business and academic should make such like MOU to provide digital platform and engineering system related to digital tech. And for the last step, is academic and community can hold and workshop or training using media such as Instagram, YouTube, and something like that, so they can learn things related to digital transformation. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Group 11, Muhammad Farisan. As we are running out of time, I think that is the last question that I can read out from the audience. So now I would like to move on to the overall comments by the reviewer representative from UniMAP. I would like to call upon Dr. Aimi Salihah Abdul Nasir for the overall comments. Please welcome Dr. Aimi. Since we cannot get hold of Dr. Aini, can we call upon Dr. Muhammad Sufyan if you're still online? Dr. Muhammad Sufyan?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for saving my life.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nina. Okay. I think very good effort from all of the group. Okay, Group 10, Group 11, and Group 12. Okay. Very good collaboration between Malaysian and Indonesian and UniMAP and ITS. I think very good collaboration, and you produce a very good business plan or business idea. It is very good to survive in the new normal or new time in the COVID-19. I think. Okay, all the presentation give a lot of new input to me and also to the reviewer. I think, and we learn a lot from your presentation. I think you also can extend your ideas to the more public academic publication or your master's study or your PhD study also, I think, and it is very good. And also you can proceed or extend to the community service. Okay, you can bring all the ideas and present to the business entity in your current location. I think that's all from my side, I think, to represent as the line of the reviewers. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Sufyan. And moving on, I would like to call upon our rep from ITS, Ms. Nurina Orta Dharmawati. Are you here, Ms. Nurina?
Hello?
Yeah, good. Hi.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I think for today it's all the groups is already having a good presentations, and for some group you have a very specific point of view which is very interesting, but all the ideas today is maybe some of it will be applicable ideas or very interesting if in the near future, I think. And for the presenter today also, I believe that it's very challenging to do a collaboration discussion when you are only by internet between two countries. But overall, it's very interesting. Every week, all the presenter you have a very interesting, even though the team is the same, but unique point of view and different solution, different approach to the problem. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Nurina. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the active participation. Thank you and congratulations to all presenters for the interesting presentations. Now, before we conclude the session, I would like to call upon none other, our Deputy Director, Dr. Arthur Huping Yong, to give a closing remark. Please welcome, Doctor.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Adrina. It's been a very, very happening session today. Of course, first of all, congratulations to not only the international office from ITS Global Engagement led by Ibu Professor Maria Anita Sarati, and of course, Pak Dr. Irfan. I'm not sure if you are here, Pak Dr. Irfan as well, for all the help that you have provided to make this a successful one. And of course, a special shout out to Pak Wahyu. Pak Wahyu Islami Pertama, the ITS Coordinator for Teen Ideas Virtual Mobility Program. And from our sides, I would like to take this opportunity to, yes. Yes. Yes, I changed my spec already, yes. Yeah, no, anyway, first of all, I would like to say I'm so sorry because our director, Associate Professor Dr. Tunku Salha Tunku Ahmad, the Director for Center for International Engagement from UniMAP, she is supposed to give these closing remarks today. Unfortunately, she is on the business trip. She's still traveling now. So I will just do the closing for her. So on top of everyone that have involved from ITS, I would like to have a special shout out to all of my staff from Center for International Engagement in UniMAP. They have done a really good job. So yeah, thank you so much for making all this happen. Yes, Kak Ju, I saw you. Yeah, so of course, today marks the last meeting, which is the 6th meeting for all the presentation as well the lecture in this program. To be able to attend all of the meetings, I congratulate all of the audience as well as the presenters to basically give your full commitment in making this possible. Because what is a program? What is a student virtual mobility program if we do not have any participation from the students themselves? So I'm so happy, and I'm really hoping that you guys learn a thing or two, be it a virtual mobility, be it in terms of improving understanding between people or students from different nations, improving or coming up with a lot of novel ideas that could be possible and beneficial to all the students from different nations and the community around the university itself. Because as a student, you are not only responsible for yourself, but as a future member of the community, that is how you contribute back to the society. And that is actually part of our whole the objective of the event. And of course, from the perspective of UniMAP, the whole idea of having this virtual mobility program start up from the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic that have a very massive impact on the higher education institution. So with this intra-regional mobility program, we hope that the restriction to the conventional or physical student mobility patterns due to this pandemic is lifted, and we see this as another opportunity to promote the engagement between the students, staff, and most importantly the academic staff as well to be involved in this virtual platform. So with that said, I hope all of the stakeholders in both Malaysian and Indonesian universities, by this time you would have sufficient knowledge to actually handle like virtual mobility, something like that, even though we would never have sufficient knowledge to predict the future, as in what will happen in the future, how would the COVID-19 pandemic will reside and what's not. But regardless of how, again, I would like to congratulate everyone, and I really hope that the connection, more importantly, the connection and the engagement between two universities, be it from academic, non-academic staff, and most importantly, the students are able to achieve throughout this series of meetings. So I think that's all, but of course, congratulations to all the students. You guys have done well, but I want to focus on one thing. On paper, we are supposed to have only 6 meetings, but upon discussion with our counterparts from ITS, we have decided to have one more meeting, which is meeting 7. So this meeting 7, don't worry, you do not need to present anymore, don't worry. So you guys will have to sit back and enjoy, where we will start, we will have our closing ceremony, and more importantly, I think everyone has been waiting for it, is the prize giving ceremony. So this meeting 7, please mark down your calendar. It will be held on next Wednesday. It will be 23rd of September. Same time, same platform, Zoom. The link will be shared by our staff in the group later. We cordially invite all of the academic and non-academic staff who have actively participated in this program, and of course all of the participants and audiences to join us and to see basically who have actually won the best presenter prize in this program. Let me remind you, the best presenters from ITS will get scholarship, if I'm not mistaken, for the study excursion next time. And from the UniMAP, the students will be the top 3 students, the top 3 presenters will be rewarded with the full scholarships to attend the ITS yearly contact program that worth USD 1,600 ringgit per person. So of course the audiences, the best audiences, the people who asked a lot of questions, participated actively, will be awarded with a token of tokens of appreciation as well. So yes, please mark your date. We will send out the official invitation soon. The date, again, I repeat, will be 23rd of September, Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning over here in Malaysia, or 9 o'clock in the morning over there in Indonesia. It will take up about 1 to 2 hours. So just sit back and enjoy, and we have invited the top management to come and to congratulate you as well. So yeah, I think on the final note, I really hope that seeing that all this has been materialized, I really hope that UniMAP and ITS will continue this partnership and organize more sort of like attachments, programs, virtual mobility, or even physical if the situation allows us in the future. by extending this into the wider range of the higher learning institution in Malaysia and Indonesia as well. So we can involve more universities from different regions of the countries or different regions of the world, in fact. So may I once again express our appreciation to all of you, our guests, partners, for supporting this program, and of course for the participants, students, for your attendance this afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon over here in Malaysia. So it is hoped that this collaboration will expand widely to probably academic and research collaboration in the future. And we would like to really see the students to be, you will be able to engage in many other ways. I think that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will pass it back to Ms. Andriana. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arthur. Great. We have everything lined up for next week's housekeeping announcement by Dr. Arthur. But before we wrap up, I have put together myself and Madam Juliana a pantun to for this session. Okay. All right. Wakil ITS Anggun Nur Fitriani, Banya Federica dan Charles Lunardi. Kurangkan pergerakan ke sana ke sini. Elak corona terus menghantui. Teen Ideas 2020 menjadi medan. Hadiah ditawarkan menjadi rebutan. Patuhi arahan pihak kerajaan. Social distancing jadikan amalan. Okay, last but not least, gembira sekali Prof. Maria Anita Sari. Program Teen Ideas 2020 mencapai misi. Selesai sudah tugasan diberi. Di lain masa bertemu lagi. Okay, before we go, we like to remind all of you not to forget to fill out your online attendance from on the links provided. All right, see you guys again. Before we wrap up, will we be taking a virtual group photo, Doctor?
Yes, okay. Please. KJ,
right.
Can you take the photo?
Okay, I will be your cameraman today.
Yes, thank you, KJ.
So, you switch on your video. So take pages by pages. So page number 1. Page number 1, ITS, Astri. So UniMAP, Muhammad. UniMAP 11, Muhammad. Yes, thank you. From ITS, Adam Leonardo, please switch on your video. ITS, Anissa. Okay, thank you, Astri. Anissa from ITS. Atisa from ITS and Ruzaini from UniMAP. Where is Anissa? Blessing Patrick, can we have your full image of your face? Blessing, yes, thank you. Anissa, okay, let's begin. Group number 1, page number 1, sorry. All right. 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, thank you. Page number 2. Not yet. Okay, for page number 2, we have where is UniMAP Nur Nur Khalida, UniMAP. Can you switch on your video? Nur Khalida from UniMAP. Yes, thank you. So we have all here. Okay. Say cheese. Sorry. One more time. Okay. 3, 2, 1, cheese. All right. Thank you. So let's go to group number 3. Okay, group number 3. Group number 3, we have ECBUs, we have Putri Nurdianti, we have Yuda Hendrawan, we have Gilbert from ITS, UniMAP Shikin, please switch on your video. Siti Naziha, switch on your video. ITS Carolina, we have 5 more minutes for this session. Please help me. ITS Lucianita, Betari from ITS. Okay, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's take a photo. Say cheese. Group number 3. Cheese. Right. Thank you. Page number 4. We have Ahmad. Khainatun, Nafi. We have Zulfikar. We have Intan Chitra. Please switch on your video. We have Gita from UniMAP. We have Maheshwari from UniMAP. Please switch on your video. From ITS, Nyoman, switch on your video, please. Okay, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and page 4. Say cheese. 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, thank you. And last page. So we have only 4 pages. All right, that's all I think. Back to Mendawa Andrina. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Okay. All right, let's wrap up, and that's all for today. And thank you very much. I enjoy being your moderator today, and see you again. Bye.
All right, thank you everyone. Bye bye. See you next week.
Thank you.